Welcome back to another OhmLab tutorial. Today we're going to be taking a look at a classic technique called the reverse reverb effect. It's been around for decades now, and it's incredibly popular in just a huge range of musical genres. And in some recent flipping through YouTube videos, online forums, that type of thing, we've noticed a trend in the lessons and tutorials that people are sharing this idea in. And that is the process becomes a little convoluted, a little complicated. And what we'd like to do is just break this down into the two easy steps that it is, and hopefully allow you to avoid some confusion and stay focused on getting stuff done. The other thing we'd like to do is just use a stock sound so everyone can follow along with this easily. You do not have to have Logic Pro as your DAW. You can use any. I think most of these DAWs come with fairly similar sounds anymore. And just to prove that this can be done with any type of sound, it does not have to be vocals or a synth or piano or a guitar or anything like that. Those are all very common. What we'd like to do is just show how easy it is to use non-musical elements that you can then layer into builds or transitions in your music quite easily. So let's take a look at some film Foley, maybe an explosion. Let's see if we have explosions in here. We do. Okay, let's listen to this. I think I like this one. Let's go ahead and just bring this one in here, and we'll convert that. We'll delete the original track that was created there. So here we go. Here's your first step. We're going to add reverb. Okay, and what kind of reverb? Well, it's up to you, honestly, but I suggest starting with something really big, and also a hall if you have it available to you. Now you'll notice in Space Designer here, and this is just a stock plugin for Logic Pro, again, any kind of reverb unit is going to work. You'll notice that some reverb plugins like Sound Designer offers just a simple reverse button, and that would be the end of tutorial. Click reverse, you're done. But we're actually going to take the time to show you how to do this all by hand. So go ahead and increase the wet level, bring down the dry a little bit so we don't blow out our eardrums. And now let's listen to this. That's actually really good. Okay, let's call that good. So that's it. That was basically step one. The end of it is just to bounce it in place. You added your reverb, now you bounce it. That's it. A couple things to be aware of. Always make sure that you do not bypass effect plugins when you bounce in place like this for this technique especially. If you do select that, it's just going to remove the reverb and any other effects that you may have loaded on this track. The other thing you want to do is include the audio tail in the file. There's no reason to chop off the reverb tail. That's what we want to use. And then including the audio tail in the region it's optional. Might as well just select it so you can see exactly how much sonic information is registering when you're bouncing this. It's kind of an informational tidbit that some people might enjoy. Otherwise, you can just change the size of the audio region yourself and disclose that information. So go ahead and click OK. It's going to create a new track for us. I'm just going to go ahead and turn off the reverb on that original track. Now, in most DAWs, you just double click on an audio region and it's going to bring up your sampler. So you get yourself to the right view. Here you click on File, and it discloses the entire waveform. Now you go to Functions, drop down to Reverse. Bam. Now, you've reversed your audio. Let's go ahead and bring this over here. These two things are going to run together. So let's zoom in and make sure that we've got a fairly decent match here. And you know what, we might actually want to bring that down quite a bit more. One of the tricks here to making this work is to find a spot that it's going to sound natural, that it's still building and just bam into the next file. Now, we mentioned earlier that this created a longer audio region. It gives us the opportunity to trim it ourselves. Okay, I hear it right around here, so we'll go ahead and split the playhead there. And let's go ahead and add a curve, a fade curve, and just make this a nice gentle slope. You can kind of see this is where the audio is starting to show up in the waveform here. So now let's listen to this. Okay, that is not bad. That is not bad. I'm going to shorten that a bit. Okay, yeah, that's pretty good. Let's go ahead and create a little loop here so we can work on this pretty freely. Let's talk about effects really quick. That is it. That's how you create the reverse reverb effect. That's how simple it is. You add reverb, you bounce it in place. You flip that over and then you line them up. I mean, it's really that simple. It takes just a few seconds. Once you've run through the entire process a few times on your own, you can get this done in like 5 seconds. It's really that simple. Maybe 10 seconds. Maybe we're exaggerating. All right, let's go over a couple of ideas. You can always improve upon sound or get a little innovative, get a little bit of experimental, and discover things that work well with your projects. So with a sound like this, you might want just a little bit of distortion to kind of help glue them. We'll just use the output here and cheat so everything is receiving the same amount of effects being applied. So how about some overdrive? Bring it up to around 10, and we'll drop the drive down just a little bit so we don't blow out eardrums again. Let's hear. Okay, actually, yeah, that's pretty impressive just on its own. Now, again, this is more commonly used with vocals and synths and guitars, lots of electric guitar reverse reverb buildups. Huge with vocals, claps, snares, even shakers, some kick drums in a lot of modern music productions are using very short reverse reverb tricks to kind of create a very small build with every hit. So those are just a couple of ideas. Another one actually would be to either in addition to the reverb or maybe just instead of the reverb, use a delay. Maybe try some tape delay or some stereo delay. Make it fairly dramatic so the audio tail is fairly large. It'll create a very interesting build. It's a little bit more unique than the reverse reverb effect because people don't use it as much. So that's a good idea there. Another one might be to actually put, and this would be with the reverse reverb audio file, maybe we put a noise gate on this track, and that noise gate has a sidechain trigger of your hi-hat. So that way it's rhythmically chopping up your reverse reverb the entire way it's building up. So that would really kind of bring it into the groove of your project and really kind of customize it to your needs. So those are just a couple of ideas. Spend some time experimenting and discover things on your own. You can start with those quick tips. They're all very easy to implement. And again, just remember, reverse reverb, 2 steps. You bring in your audio, you add reverb, you bounce it. Step 1. Number 2, you trim it and you align them. Well, you reverse it too. So that's it. I hope it helped. And we hope you enjoyed. And we appreciate you tuning in and hope to see you again soon. Thank you.